I've been stretching and working my hamstrings and calves and back out and watching some videos on YouTube. A lot of the channels have experts that recommend using tennis balls and golf balls, racket balls, rolled up towels, and foam rollers. The foam rollers that I have seen are just too big. I had a friend loan one to me and it was like 6 inches around or something like that, and I just felt really uncomfortable using it, and I felt that balls and other round things, they were unstable, they were hard for me to control and very uncomfortable to use. So I decided to make my own foam roller of a diameter that I like. It's going to be up to you whether or not this passes your cost-benefit analysis. So by the time you're done buying the stuff that I'm going to show you in this video, you'll have to decide whether or not it's worth your time and effort to go and get the stuff and fabricate this, or just buy one and see how it goes. I can't tell you that this is going to be the best foam roller for you, but you'll get some ideas and maybe you can make one of your own and modify what I'm doing for your own purposes. So all that being said, I like the idea of using foam, and I got a pool noodle this year. This is one of the bigger ones. So there's a couple of sizes that I noticed, and this year instead of getting the smaller ones, I got a bigger one. And so what I did is I took a pool noodle and I put a piece of wood doweling inside of it. So to get the size that I like, I bought a pool noodle with an outside diameter of 2 7/8. I don't know what the smaller ones are, but if you want to use this one that I'm showing you in this video, it's 2 7/8 in outer diameter. The inside diameter is 7/8 of an inch. So these are going to crush obviously pretty easily. This is stiff foam and it's really resilient. I like these because they do so well in the sun. They just, whatever foam this is, it's great stuff. So anyway, I like the diameter, and I tried it to see how it did for me on my calves and my the back of my knees and my hamstrings and my back, and I really liked it. So the problem is that it crushed, so I got the idea to put a dowel inside. I happen to have some wooden doweling, and this one that I used was in my collection of wooden things, for lack of a better term. But this particular dowel, and I'll have this all in the description, is 1 3/16 in diameter. There's rolling pins that you can get at 99-cent stores and other places, probably like Walmart and stuff. These are just a piece of wood. This one is a little bigger though. You can see that it's a little bit bigger, not too much actually though. The rolling pin has 1 extra 16th, which makes it a diameter of 1 1/4. So you decide. I didn't try to put this dowel, the rolling pin inside there, but I'm sure it would work. And if you're looking at this doweling and you're wondering how does it fit inside there, it does work, and I'm going to explain that. It is seemingly hard to fit in there, but the way you do that, and I did this for this particular dowel, you notice like the rolling pin is chamfered at these edges, and that helps it go in. Just grab it and you know, stick the dowel in there, you can see the chamfer on this one, and that helps it go in. You would initially start by deciding how long of a dowel, that piece of doweling that you want. This one, I don't know how big this one is actually, but I just kind of took a saw and cut it in the size that I thought would work for me. So if you want to put a little bit more thought into it, go ahead and cut the dowel and chamfer the ends of it. You really probably don't need to chamfer both, but once you get it cut, I do recommend doing it. You can see it's burned. I just chamfer it on my bench grinder, and it goes in there. So trust me, if you grab it and you push it in there, it seems a little tough to begin with, but it isn't really once you get going. So anyway, the critical thing here is that you cut the noodle about 1 inch longer. And the reason that I kind of locked into this is that I cut it longer, and I said, oh, I'm going to try it. The cool part of it is that if the dowel is shorter than the noodle, that you can see, because of the restriction or the reduced diameter of the noodle, that once you get the dowel centered in the piece of noodle, that the ends of the noodle kind of pucker in around the dowel and keep it from moving. So that was a really cool sort of serendipitous aspect of this whole thing, that once I got the dowel centered in the middle, that this foam just seemed to naturally pucker in on either end around it. So how do you center it once you get it in there? So for me, I push it into what I thought was kind of, you know, the right position. Then I just looked and I adjusted it. In this case, I wanted it to be about the same amount of foam noodle on either end. And so what I did is I just took this screwdriver, and you know, obviously I have to hold on to the video camera, but I just grab the noodle and then tap down or whatever sideways with the screwdriver, and it just kind of nudges the dowel into the right place. And if you go too far, flip it over and then just do it the other side, and you'll get it positioned just right. And I really love using this because, I mean, I'm just squeezing it. It does not collapse, but this is so soft. I am literally thinking about making a longer one. This one I use on my spine on either side. So kind of the spine is in the middle, and I just roll it back and forth. And for me and my legs, this just happens to be, by sheer luck, the right length. So there's nothing wrong with having maybe a shorter one if you wanted to work it on your feet. I don't know, but a longer one would work too if you're bigger and you want to cover a larger area on either side of your spine, for instance. So anyway, experiment with it and modify it to your own needs. And again, I'm not an expert or a doctor or anything like that, so I'm hoping that it works for you like it works for me. And I'm going to be honest with you, my wife loves this thing too. She's like, wow, great, you know, and she's been using it for her feet in particular. She's been putting her feet on it and using it that way, and it really is really, really cool. So anyway, it's not just for people that are in pain, and I use it just to keep limber and to give my legs some self-therapy. I don't go to a massage person or anything, so I just do all that here at my house. And if you can justify the cost, and I'll put the cost of these things in the description, and the effort that it takes for you to do this, you can compare and contrast to what it costs to get a professionally made one. But this foam, the density of this foam, to me is really what sold me on the whole idea. Not just saving money and doing it myself, but I like this product when it was done. I just really dug it. So I just set out to make something that works for me, and it does, and hopefully it'll work for you. Sorry for the long video, but all the best.